This is Florida Natural Farming at Frog Valley Tropical Fruit Farm. And I've been getting a lot of Garcinia brasiliensis and a lot of Garcinia gardneriana fruit. And so I just wanted to brush up on, this is that tree kale. I love this thing. Full sun, no problem. In summer, 2 years. It's supposed to be a perennial, but I think it's biennial. Anyway, so the Garcinias, because I make tea. We started selling fruit leaf tea from our naturally grown trees. I think it's very important that the food and teas that you drink come from the most naturally grown source as possible. So we try to just grow ours in our homemade compost from our little holistically grown zebu manure, zebu cows, little darlings. And we keep track of everything that comes onto the farm, where it's been, pretty much, you know, organic, or if it's how it was grown, and you just got to know these things. So we do ours naturally, and we don't water anything outside of this porch. I water inside this porch, but everything else outside is on except for that stuff in the pot right there. I water that. My kale is on drought. So these are the little Garcinia fruits and seeds that we have. I have a bunch more. I just picked a bunch of fruit. This is the fruit that I was just gonna leave for seed because it was damaged in some way. I like to leave the skin and all on these Garcinias. This is not a Garcinia, that's a passion fruit. This is gardneriana, and a little small fruit one. And seeds, I sell them for $1. They're $1 each. Leaves are $1 each. But I was just like, I need to brush up on what phytochemicals and bioactive compounds were in the gardneriana and the brasiliensis. Because there's a study at the National Institute of Health, medicinal potential of Garcinia species and their compounds. By a group of people. I got it from them. I got it from the National Institute of Health. You can look up research and read the abstract to see if it interests you. So that's what I did. And then I printed out the abstract, and I'm just gonna read it to you because it's so amazing that just the abstract alone on these, on the health benefits. So Garcinia is a genus of Luciaceae, distributed throughout tropical Asia, Africa, New Caledonia, Polynesia, and Brazil. Garcinia plants contain a broad range of biologically active metabolites, which in the last few decades have received considerable attention due to the chemical compositions of their extracts, with compounds which have been shown to have beneficial effects in several diseases. Our work had the objective of reviewing the benefits of the 5 Garcinia species. So we have 2 of them that we're growing here, but they just did 5, but one of them was brasiliensis and one of them was gardneriana. These species provide a rich natural source of bioactive compounds with relevant therapeutic properties and anti-inflammatory effects, such as the treatment of skin disorders, wounds, pain, and infections, having demonstrated antinociceptive. That's when it's reduces pain from your neurons, I guess. That's what that means. I didn't know that word. I had to look it up. Antiulcerogenic, antioxidant, antitumoral, antifungal, anticancer, antihistaminic, antimicrobial, antiviral, vasodilator, vasodilator, that like expands your blood vessels close to the skin. Hypolipidemic, I think that has to do with your endocrine system, so diet and vitamins they fix it with. Hepatoprotective, which is liver, I would assume. Nephroprotective, what was that one? And cardioprotective properties. Nephroprotective is inflammatory, so it protects your body from becoming inflamed. This demonstrates the relevance of the genus as a rich source of compounds with valuable therapeutic properties with potential use in the prevention and treatment of non-transmissible chronic disease. So I've been drinking the teas, and one of the first physical things I noticed after I'd been drinking them for a little while was that I had like a dry patch on my skin that had been there for 10 years. I even went to the dermatologist because I've had skin cancer before. And he said it was nothing, but just watch it. But it never went away. In fact, it seemed to get bigger. But after drinking the teas, I don't have it anymore. So I try to drink those leaf teas every day. I feel like that's going to be the big money maker of this farm in the future, is the leaves from all the different Garcinias. I'm so glad that I planted them, and I'm so glad that we grow as close to natural as possible. Could you imagine if we sprayed our leaves with like copper and stuff, or did systemic fungicide? Scary, scary, scary. So I'm gonna go outside and look at those trees, that the Garcinia intermedia and the Garcinia brasiliensis and the Garcinia gardneriana, because they're all fruiting. And I'm just gonna pick up some fruit that I saw was on the ground that I didn't get. Just looking at my beautiful rare houseplants. They're stunning. There's a new leaf on the Anthurium regali. There's a mature leaf. Yep, they're pretty. Pretty. So we grow everything the same way. People always want to like take one plant apart, but you know, it's all plants are grown this. We grow all plants the same. You just have to know whether they're epiphytic or terrestrial or bog lovers or not. I think shade and sun. I think that's about it. Otherwise, everything gets the exact same treatment. Of course, we don't grow big mango trees in pots, but the stuff that's small that grows in pots, we all start in compost, and it does fine. So it's been super dry here. We haven't gotten any rain. You can tell by the look of these. These things, the Mexican petunias, they sure seem to crowd out anything else that tries to grow with them. I know that. They want to be a monocrop for sure. But everything looks okay. The trees definitely look okay. I just really want to know exactly how far things can be pushed, and I don't know why I get surprised here in Florida. That stuff just seems to be able to take a drought. Well, of course it can. Just stuff that can't take a drought so much are nursery started trees a lot of times, other than mangoes. If your mango is having trouble with drought, it's probably because you have compacted soil, would be my guess. So we're whistling ducks. I love them. We have like 5 wood ducks, baby wood ducks left in our pond that haven't flown off yet. And our pond is like it's like a mud puddle right now. It's shocking, especially this time of year. We have trees that have fruit on them that seem fine. None of our trees look like they're gonna die. My partner freaks out when he sees that it's so dry. I mean, freaks out. But he just doesn't have any, he's not a grower like I am. He knows that we have water and he wishes I would turn it on. He trusts me, but he gets anxiety over it. I don't get any anxiety over it. This super rare star apple, juicy pearl tree that obviously is showing signs of drought stress, that wants water, but I mean, they were developed, biology was developed to deal with changes in the environment. So trees especially don't need to be coddled by us. When we do that, we disrupt the life in the soil from doing its job to help the tree live. A lot of times, that tree was started correctly in compost. You have to inoculate seeds in compost for sure. I'll show you how I inoculate my seeds, since we're talking about it. I use I get a holistically grown cow, a cow that's died naturally, preferably, and I shove cow manure in it and bury it at the spring equinox, or the fall equinox, and then dig it up at the spring equinox. And then I bury the whole thing in areas where we have had standing water before, or I know that there's drought issues. So I keep compost in a bucket in this little room here, and you can definitely see that there's hyphae coming off of that. You could see it, fine little fuzz coming off. And this is it. It's a great substance. So I just leave the manure in there and then store it in compost. I do store it in rain barrels. It lasts for a year. Oh, wasn't supposed to happen, but that was it. Sorry. This is it. It's good stuff. Doesn't break down. It doesn't even break down in water. I'll just put that in the my water thing jug that I water my houseplants with, so they get fertilized. So that's kind of all we inoculate our seeds with before we plant them. A little compost if we don't have any of that, but compost we make. Yeah. Okay, get off to look at the look at the tree, the Garcinia trees. It's a little abu I planted out here not that long ago, but seems okay. This is my my rarest ginger that I thought was dying from the drought, but it looks like it has new growth that came out. It's okay. It's gonna survive. Stuff survives. That ginger seems fine. There's a ginger right there. Spectably. So this is a seedling Queemuck tree that didn't fruit this year yet. I know that the drought it had flowers on it, it had some fruit on it, but it didn't set. But it's been a drought. It's been a horrible drought. I mean, this is like the mowed path, how brown it is. I haven't had to mow in 3 weeks. That's how dry it is. Normally you have to mow every 5 days, the path. And you can't even barely do it because it's so much. I mean, it's like, because the water, the moisture in the soil is like, it gets slippery. We have a Quaimak tree with fruit on it, our grafted tree. It produced better than that tree last year. Last year was the first year that fruited. I had that tree for 10 years before it fruited. It was a tiny little tree when I transplanted it here. Well, it was probably 6 inches. Okay, so I just picked a bunch of fruit off that tree right there. I see this tree over there has fruit on it too. This is I hadn't noticed this. I could see a fruit from here, dangling. Yeah, I see more than one fruit, but I don't see any ripe ones. Yeah. Do I? No, I don't see any ripe fruit. Sorry. I was looking with my eyes and not with my camera. That had not fruited before, but I definitely see fruit on it now. I think that's a Garcinia intermedia, which is what this one is. So the intermedia has a little nipple at the bottom, like that. I'm sure this intermedia, they did not do a test on the intermedia. I think they're all related. Intermedia, gardneriana, and maybe not. I think intermedia is a cross between brasiliensis and gardneriana, maybe. But I don't know that for sure. But there's quite a bit of fruit on this tree. I got a bunch earlier, and I saw that there was a bunch underneath it. So I want this fruit for seeds. Dropped a leaf off. $1 each. Pick them up. People seem to want these, and now that I really looked at exactly what type of health benefits these things have, I'm glad that we started this farm because of the 4 Garcinia trees, the Chacha mostly. That was not included in that study. This is our input, you know, a day's supply of bedding and manure from the zebu. Probably can't sell that fruit fresh, because I put the manure too close to the tree. So I can sell the seeds, but I can't sell them in the fresh fruit. You have to wait 4 months. Certified organic, so I'll eat the fruit. I've eaten the fruit, doesn't hurt me, but if you're certified organic, you can't do that. So I don't do it. I didn't plan on selling the fresh fruit. I just planned on selling the seeds. Cha-cha trees. Doesn't really look very stressed out to me, does it? To you? I mean, sure, some of the trees look like they're a little stressed, but definitely not these bananas. I love the effect of bananas on the forest, so it just makes it seem so tropical, I guess. Is that the word? Must be. Not having to water anything, this sure takes a lot of pressure off having to worry. Knowing that these trees all grow the same as everything else. Everything's grown the same. Can produce fruit, large amounts of fruit, even during times of drought. So The cacao especially is adapted to do this. I have never seen a plant more resilient than that for Florida. I believe that's a quaimac, and then that's a, I'm not sure what that is. Could be a cacao though, not a quaimac, but I think it looks kind of like a quaimac. I was over at this tree earlier and I picked all the fruit off of it. It gave me a lot of fruit, but there's still a lot on there. I got distracted pulling weeds off of it. There's still a lot here. It's good. This is brasiliensis. It doesn't have the nipple, just round. It has a little navel, but no nipple. They're good. Seeds are good. And then this is the gardneriana. I have more, I love it more and more after rereading that. See the long lemon drop shape, or lemon shape, plus they're like twice the size of those other fruits. More oblong. Fruit's not quite ready, but I just picked the fruit that was ripe on it earlier. Leaf is a little smaller than on the intermedia. There's another Garcinia that the mushrooms on the oak. Two different types of mushrooms. Yeah, I don't think you can really grow plants as medicine unless you grow them naturally, as close to nature as possible. Otherwise, you're just not going to get the full effects of the plant. It's never going to be able to express its potential naturally, which is nature's phenomena. So this had some fruit on it, but it didn't set. This is a female Humbroniana tree. We have a male tree. Not that far away. It had set fruit, but then it didn't. So this, you know, none of these Garcinia trees seem to mind anything. They're amazing. Another tree for Florida. It's just, especially knowing that their future medicinal potential is quite high. I'm very excited about them and the leaf teas that we produce here. Even though I'm not into like selling, I still like building the system, building it. I mean, if I said I like doing all of it, I'd, you know, it's just parts of it I don't like. I don't like the business side of it, I guess. There's a name for that. I can't believe I can't think of it. The mechanics of all the business parts. But we have Garcinia seeds, and we have Garcinia leaves. This is the male of the Humbroniana, Garcinia Humbroniana tree. It's a big tree. Then we have the Garcinia MB, or the Garcinia Livingstonii. That's a male tree right there. It's a pretty big tree. And I think that's a female tree. Produced about 10 fruit for us this year. Little tiny tree. The Luke's Garcinia. This one's starting to branch out. Anyway, this is Florida Natural Farming at Frog Valley Tropical Fruit Farm. I hope you have a beautiful day.